continually talking in circles, trying to find some way to reconcile the facts that strike you right between the eyes.
Sorry, is it perhaps just more comprehensive in the book just because it seemed very short and very non-inclusive in the list that you gave in your lecture?
Well, I didn't go into the details of all of them, but those were the main items. Those are the main ones I do go into details. But you had another point. I forgot what it was. I wanted to respond to that.
I'm sorry, I don't even remember what it was.
Okay.
About being a skeptic. That she's also a skeptic.
No, that was, my point was encompassed in that.
Yeah, all right. Maybe the curve.
Hello. Thank you for your presentation. I heard the latter half of it. But with respect to the millions of species of life which exist in extraordinary numbers, that organization does require a creator, because the laws of entropy state that things tend to go from an organized to a disorganized state. So that actually encourages the thought that there is a creator. And in Isaiah 40:26, it speaks about, due to the abundance of his dynamic energy, none of these are missing, speaking of the stars and the bodies of the universe, and what is in the universe. And that supports E equals mc squared, actually. And
well, could we do one at a time? Because I can't remember. I already forgot what your first one had to do with all the species somehow violating the second law. That's just not true. Look, evolution explains how the species on Earth evolved. It's a theory that is completely reaffirmed over and over again. It provides us the mechanism by which this happens. The second law is not violated. As I said, you probably didn't hear that part of my talk, but I pointed out how you could have a local pocket of order forming as long as you have a place to throw off the disorder. And we do. We have the universe to throw off our disorder as we organize the Earth. There's nothing about life on Earth that requires any violation of any known principle of physics.
in the last sentence of Origin of Species, Darwin had to acknowledge that life started, at least at the beginning, by a creator. And in a Time magazine, there was an issue that dealt with evolution, and it had the findings that in all the periods of the past, that life could have only have formed during a 35 million year period. And to expect that during that 35 million years, that the millions of forms of species would have developed, at least so far, that life could be as it is today is beyond the laws of
it's only because
probability.
This is the old argument, the God of the gaps argument, namely, I don't understand how this could have happened, therefore God must have done it. Well, first of all, how did God do it?
Well, if there had been a 10-year period in the universe and anywhere in which there was no life, then there would be no life today. The fact that there is organized life today required forever a life organizer in the past, and that is the Creator.
No, there's no...
How does the Creator account
an
for
opinion.
98% of all the species that existed on this planet were failures and are no longer here? How does that fit with your theory?
Actually,
Look, I think you have to give other people a chance. What you're doing is making a speech. You're not asking questions. You're making a speech. You're starting a religious position that has no basis in science. So
they refute
why
the
don't
things
you
that
let
so
somebody else?
disturb you. And to
Let
live
somebody else
forever in a paradise Earth is something more than just having children today, for example. It's a lot happier future than just expecting that after 70 years we would die. That goes against the idea that we're rational human beings and that there's more to life than just 70
Yeah, it would be nice to live forever, but we're not going to. Sorry.
Life again. That's what the Creator has stated.
No, that's only a faith based on no evidence whatsoever.
Hi, I'm a supporter and believer in the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, and you have not said a single thing that has proven the fact that there is a plate of spaghetti circling the sun near
The heart of the matter and find out why it is that people believe in these things, and the only way you have to address that, I think, the best way to address that is to attack the thinking process directly.
I think it's to attack the material interests that cause people to think.
Yeah, that's part of it, but I mean, you gotta get people have to not fall for it. That's the difficulty.
If I could just ask a final question, do you support Guantanamo and torture and these things, the war in Iraq, or are you in that wing of these?
Of course not, and I don't know who you were even referring to that's in that wing. That I don't think so. I'll have to look at his book more carefully.
You'll have to excuse me, my heart's pounding in my chest. I usually don't speak in front of some people, and I guess I handled it less well than previous people did. I just came up, I guess, because I'm just organizing my thoughts right now. Still, I guess I kind of found it a little bit counterproductive the way this gentleman in the front was responded to just now. It seems like what I like to see is discussion, and so even though I disagreed with his stance, I was really excited to see him come up because he would create a discussion. But instead of having discussion, after a few comments, he was criticized for giving his religious beliefs, and that's the kind of discussion I want to see happen, and it was stopped before he even started.
Well, I'm sorry, but he was not presenting a rational argument to me. I'm perfectly happy to argue. I'm perfectly happy to argue rationally on the things I do. I welcome it. I get letters, emails all the time from people saying you're wrong, and here's why you're wrong because of this factual mistake you've made, or this logical error that you've made, or this little thing that you said that does not hold water. And I have no problem with that. But just to stand up and say this is the way things are, period, because I believe that. I don't have any way to counter that. You can have your belief. You're welcome to your belief. Yeah. It's just factual. It's just a fact. Again, well, how can I argue with that? I have no argument to present against that.
I'd like to withdraw everything I just said.
He may be right. If he's right, maybe I'll get struck down by lightning right now. Let's see what happens. God, strike me down if you're